What's up, guys? It's 28th April 2026 at 9:30 p.m. and I've been thinking about doing this for a while. This video is going to be extremely unedited, completely not filtered at all. One straight up conversation. If you want to get popcorn, get it. If you want to get coffee, do whatever you want. This video is specifically for people who are either considering to come to Harvard Graduate School of Education or even people who have also already gotten in and now you're deciding. Because at the end of the day, it's a big investment, right? I'm in my last week of classes. This is my last week of classes at Harvard Graduate School of Education, and I feel like I have a very good sense of what I got out of this degree, and I want to share that today in this video. I've not made anything. I have this from ChatGPT. I've asked ChatGPT to come up with a few topics. I don't know if you could see that. Unscripted video. I've asked ChatGPT to make a few things what would be interesting for me to talk about in this video, and I'm gonna follow that and share my thoughts on every single thing that ChatGPT is asking me to talk about. The first one is, why did I actually choose Harvard and what I expected? I chose Harvard when I was 16 years old. I wanted to come here for my undergrad, but then I got rejected. So I always had this idea that I wanted to apply here for masters. I did not know which department, I did not know business school, whatever. I had no idea. I also maybe knew that I did not want to take the GMAT or the GRE exam, which was required by the business school. So I decided to just apply for the education school. By that time, I also had a small business in education. I was doing student exchange programs a little bit. I was doing educational consulting to get admission and scholarships at US universities. I also run this YouTube channel. So I was already into education a little bit, and someone gave me a nudge, someone that I know, that I should consider Harvard Graduate School of Education. And I applied within just 3 days. But I knew that, also I was doing applications all the time. So I was fairly good at it, and 3 days was more than enough for me. So I applied. But the reason why I came was because it was my childhood dream. It was something which was on my vision board. Till today, it's on my vision board back home in my parents' house, So it was almost a no-brainer. But I also will say that I studied for my undergrad in Texas Christian University. But then I left the US. I became a digital nomad. I did not want to come back to the US. I was done with America. Like, I had enough experience, I had enough knowledge, whatever, and I was done. I wanted to move to Europe. I wanted to do my master's in the Netherlands. But it was either Harvard in the US or it was like for sure going to Netherlands. It was between those two. If I did not get into Harvard, I would be in the Netherlands. That's a given. Brand identity, Harvard is the most popular educational brand that you can buy on planet Earth. Let that sink in. Network, I would say I was not thinking about network so much, which is pretty dumb of me. I should actually have thought about it earlier. Oops. But I would say that I think I was pleasantly surprised by the network that I was making. But I would also say that the network that you will make is not that useful until you don't have something to contribute to that network. Okay? So I have friends who are millionaires. I have friends who are pretty important, successful people, even celebrities. Like, I know celebrities with more than 1 million followers on Instagram, But it's like, what? Just getting to know them? Is that enough? Like, are you going to benefit in your life at all? I'm not saying that you need to be transactional, but I'm also kind of pushing you to think further. This whole video is also about like ROI. Like, are you going to get an ROI from the network? Not really. Yes, you'll get to know these people. You'll get to know some of their stories. But I would also warn you that some of the very successful people that come to Harvard, they're not here to study or be serious in life. Most probably they're taking like a mid-career break and they're here to chill. Like, they don't want to have serious conversations. These are the people between the ages of 35 to 45. They don't want to talk about work a lot. They've worked enough, they've made a few $1 million, and now they're just back in school to feel like a kid. And there's a small group of those people at Harvard. Okay, I went so long, and this is just the first topic of conversation. I have so many more. The real ROI, was it worth it? Financial ROI, tuition versus expected earning opportunities, opportunity cost. I would say I did not have an opportunity cost. I wanted to come to Harvard for sure if I got in. Financial ROI, let's get into the money part, okay? So my total degree is going to cost around $100,000, out of which around maybe $70,000 was paid directly to Harvard, and the remaining was maybe living expenses. Maybe it would be a little bit less than 100,000, around 95,000, let's say. I did not get any financial aid. I fully sponsored that from my savings, from a few businesses that I was doing, and I'm being transparent with you. I did not ask for money from my parents as well, and I was lucky enough that I was doing some businesses before. But it also means that I'm almost like I've used a lot of my savings, and it's almost like an investment, right? So I was looking at it from an investment standpoint as well. I would say that I had reached a point in my business where I wanted to, if I wanted to grow, I needed to learn new things, which I was not able to learn just from the business or just from the internet. And one of the reasons why I invested so much money to come here was because I knew that I wanted to learn what I don't know. Wait, I wanted to have the professors teach me what I don't know, or that I don't know that I don't know. Does that make sense? Whatever. There are things in life which you just don't know that you don't know, okay? That's what I came to Harvard for. And I think that Harvard did an okay job, not stellar. I would give it like a 6 on 10 maybe. Out of, I don't know, I took maybe 10 to 12 classes. Maybe just 2 to 3 classes out of these 12 maybe actually stood out. These 2 to 3 classes were really different, where I learned new things which I know for sure are going to change my life, okay? And these 2 to 3 classes that I took has taught me enough, has connected me with some alumni, or has connected me with some other people, or also genuinely the content of that class was so beneficial that I would be able to use some of that content to actually get the ROI on this degree. Having that said, non-financial ROI, this is the non-tangible. Actually, no, let's get back to the financial one. I said that I sponsored everything myself, but that's not the case for most of the people. Many people come here on loans. So if you are thinking about doing a master's in America on a loan, you need to be, here's how I like to characterize it. One is, if you are coming to the US on a 80% or more scholarship, you should come to the US. Even if it's not the top 25 universities, if it's top 200, you should come. If you're going to pay out of your pocket, then you should come to the top 25 universities. Okay? But, there is a big but here. You need to have a clear idea of how you are at least going to try to get an ROI of this degree. Universities in the US are not going to handhold you to be able to get the ROI of this degree. There will be so many students who are also trying to get the ROI of this degree, and it is going to be extremely difficult, and I'm not just talking about getting a job, okay? That's the very small mentality that people have, is that I need to find a job. I don't care about a job. I care about, what are you trying to become the top 1% in the world at? What is that niche that you're trying to achieve? And is this degree at Harvard or any other college going to help you to become that top 1%? That's how you're going to get real ROI, okay? Many people misunderstand this. Many people do not understand this properly, and that can cause many problems. Um, so yeah, I don't come to the US if you have not had at least 1 or 2 years of work experience. Don't come to the US if you feel very stuck in your career and you feel that doing a master's degree is going to help you make $1 million. It's not going to help you. It's just a piece of paper, a few classes, out of which maybe 20% of classes will actually teach you something, and then a few new friends that you're going to make, whom you might not even see after you graduate. So really, like, take a chill pill, okay? Even if you got into Harvard, take a chill pill, relax a little bit, think of it. How is it you're going to push your personal career? To give you some examples, I know people who started small businesses, non-profits. I know people who worked at UNESCO. Now they're here at Harvard on a scholarship. This specific guy is on a scholarship. He's gonna go back to UNESCO. He's going to go back and grow UNESCO and get promoted. I know people who are very niche in whatever subject in education that they're working in, and then they want to do more research there or something. All I'm trying to say is, if you sit down and write your diary, you need to write that what is 40% of your life that you have already figured out professionally. That 40% needs to be figured out. Then you can come to Harvard to explore the remaining 60%. If you come here with 100% blank slate, you're gonna have a very tough time, because at least my Master's of Education program is only 1 year long, out of which technically the classes are only 8 months long. Otherwise it's vacation. So it's a very, very, very fast program. Not a big program, not a good program to explore your interests. Great program to advance something that you're already working on. So that's a big recommendation that I would give. Opportunity cost that I talked about, I don't think that I personally did not have opportunity cost, in a sense that I only applied to Harvard. It was not that I was gonna waste money or whatever. I did not have any other jobs waiting for me. Non-financial ROI, and sorry, it looks like this video is going to go super long, but I really hope that at least for the people who got into Harvard, this video is going to be helpful. Non-financial ROI when it comes to network, credibility, confidence, and exposure. That's what ChatGPT is asking me to talk about. Network, I think that it's probably one of the best things. Not because it's transactional, because I am able to see different types of people, different levels of success that people have had. And what I'm able to do is I'm able to put myself in between some of those people. And I'm talking about this like fully judgmental, okay? I'm actually judging people. I'm telling you that. Everyone judges people. I'm able to put myself above a few people and under a few people. So mentally, when you are at Harvard, you have this feeling that, oh, all the successful people are here. What is success? What are successful people like? Here, you see it, So now I have a very clear understanding of who do I think that I'm better than and who are better than me, and I want to be like them. That's kind of how the hierarchy I'm setting in my mind, and I'm hanging out and I'm spending a lot of time with people who I think are better than me, and I want to be like them. So that's one thing about network. I think one extremely unexpected thing that happened to me is that after graduating from Harvard, because I have a few connections, I can pretty much connect with anyone in the world, starting from Elon Musk to Sundar Pichai to any Bollywood actor if I want to. I feel like I've found enough people where 1 or 2 connects down the line, I can find whoever I want to reach out to, we just invited Priyanka Chopra to the Harvard India conference. We invited Shashi Tharoor from India, The former CEO of Google was here for a speech. The president of Czech Republic was here, you know. I think the president or prime minister of Libya was here. And sometimes, like, yeah, you don't know these people personally, but you know people who know these people, you know. So that's been very strong at Harvard. The other one thing that I've also realized is that this money that I have invested into Harvard is also to build trust, for other people in me. This means that people are actually, like, when you say that you're from Harvard, people trust you. Of course, you need to do genuinely good work in whatever industry that you're in. And I try to do truly my best with my business and trying to grow my business. But at the end of the day, when you drop the name Harvard, people trust you. People, it's almost like something which makes you different than a lot of other people. But you really need to use this name properly. You cannot rely on people being extremely impressed. Maybe actually, let me explain this further, because this is important. In my case, I run a college counseling company, okay? And I talk to families all the time where I'm trying to sell them our services. Hey, let us guide your student to get admission to whatever universities that you want to apply to. Now, what happens with this is that in the past, without the Harvard title, I was still me, you know. I had all my knowledge, my experience of being in America and everything, and I was trying to sell this service. But I was also competing with so many other college counselors in the world. But now after Harvard, it's a little bit different. Families look at me a little bit differently, and they trust me more to buy our services. And that's a very good thing for me, but it also means that it comes with a lot of responsibility. I genuinely feel so responsible that if I've invested time and energy and money into getting this brand identity, but then if even a few times if I do bad work, all of this goes to waste, which is something that you don't want to, because once your name in any industry is kind of going down, it's very hard to bring it back, you know. So if I'm not actually doing good work with my college counseling, then doesn't matter where I went to university, you know. But at least I'm 26 years old. So at this age, while I'm on the upwards trajectory of my business, this is a very good space where I'm able to use the Harvard brand to expand my company. And the same thing, it's not just me, a few other people are also doing similar things. There's a question here which says who this degree does and does not make sense for. This degree makes sense for people who have their professional lives at least 40% figured out. The niche within education that you want to achieve, and you have figured it out. You have at least 2-3 years of work experience, let's say. You know enough people in that industry already that when you tell them that you're going to Harvard, they will give you more respect. And then when you come here, you take classes which are related to that industry that you're going to work in, and then the remaining 60% will come better. This degree is not, and I think at a larger scale, master's degree in America, especially if you're paying for it. If you're taking a loan for it, even worse. It's not for people who are just, they haven't had their life figured out. Like, if professionally you feel lost, please do not get into a $50,000 to $70,000 loan to make it even worse. Like, if you are lost professionally, master's degree is not going to be the answer for you. In fact, it will be even worse after you get a loan, because now you have the loan and small chance that you might have figured out your life, but most probably it's not that you're going to figure out life. I like to say it in a way that don't push your problems. If your problem is that you haven't figured out your professional career, do that first and then think about a master's degree. All right, next question. This video is going super long, but I don't care. I feel like talking out everything right now. I hope that you are listening on fast mode. There is some settings on YouTube where you can make it faster if you want. What you actually learn versus what you think you will learn. Very interesting question from ChatGPT. As I mentioned earlier, I expected to learn things that I did not know, but I think that I am not learning some of those things. I think that I don't know. Like, I feel like there's a lot more that I could have learned in some sense. Wait. Sorry, my video camera is moving a lot. Okay, let me give an example. Last semester, I took 2 classes which I thought were a waste of money. I think I lost probably around $8,000 per class, so around $16,000. I could have learned the things I learned in those classes by watching 2 YouTube videos, about entrepreneurship, about one was a little bit about disruptive innovation or something. I just feel like it really depends on professor to professor, because every single class that I was paying for, I was expecting every single class session to learn something new and exciting, which was not happening. Many times the argument against, when I was bringing up with my professors, by the way, I was very open with my professors. I was telling them what I think about their classes. When I was bringing this up, one of the professors literally told me, maybe you're too smart for this. I'm like, what do you mean? We're at Harvard. Like, you can't be talking about what is a strategy versus what is a plan. Like, that's something that you learn in like A levels, like grade 12 or something, We're sitting in a Harvard class talking about basic things about entrepreneurship in a master's degree. And there is McKinsey consultants sitting in the classroom. There are people that worked at Google, people that own tons of businesses, millionaires sitting in the classroom, and we're talking about super basic entrepreneurial things, So I feel like there was a big disconnect between the experience of the people in the classroom and what the teachers were teaching for these 2 classes. Again, I can go into all the time of what professors to take. I think the popular, I'm gonna name drop some right now. The popular professors, Fernando Reimers is popular. I'm in one of his classes right now. I feel like he cares a lot about his students, and he genuinely wants them to succeed. And he's giving a lot of resources to the students to succeed. He is very hard on grading. So getting a A minus or a A plus in his class is extremely difficult. Human Haruni also has a very popular class, which is more about self-transformation and stuff. Unfortunately, I was not able to take it because I was taking another class which was conflicting with this class, and I decided to go with Drew Allen's class on strategic enrollment management, which was more related to my college counseling industry and business. So I decided to take that. I'm also taking higher education law and higher education leadership, which are good classes, but maybe I don't connect with it as much because I'm not going to be in the US. I'm not going to be working at a university in the US. So I think the professors are very good and they're teaching things which are very applicable, but sometimes I just feel myself a little bit disconnected just because I don't plan on living here or working at a US university. But at the end, it's not about the professor in that case. I'd made that decision to take that class because I wanted to learn. So yeah, that's the case. Yeah. All right. Next topic is the network hype versus reality. I think that the network the hype that you have of the network, it's true. Okay, the Harvard hype of network is pretty true, but not every single person. I would say 30% of the people are truly amazing. Not just like credential wise, but genuinely nice people who will help you support, who will help you develop yourself into a better human being. But you need to find those 30 people. I very regularly I have other friends who are in different friend groups, and the friend groups that you make are made within the first 2 weeks. Within the first 2 weeks you have those friend groups already made. um, it's very easy to be in a friend group where you don't feel like you're at Harvard, you're not feeling challenged, you are talking about the same problems in the world but not talking about solutions in the world. The motto of Harvard Graduate School of Education is learn to change the world. So I'm going to talk about changing the world a lot. I I think that I'm surrounding myself with pretty amazing people who are actually pushing me a little bit. Many of them are just 5 to 6 years older than me, so I'm able to see my life in them in the next 5 to 6 years. What do I want to be like them? How, in what ways do I want to be like them? Um, how much of the Harvard network is passive versus requires effort? I think it requires effort, and to be honest, also money, because with some of these people, I need to go out to dinners if they invite me. I spend every single day. I spend maybe $60 just on food and drinks because I need to go out. I need to eat at whatever places. Whenever I'm eating alone, I try to save as much money as possible. But I'm at Harvard, like I'm fine, like going out, kind of spending a little bit of time with them, um, and it's almost that it's just one or two things that they're going to tell you, which will almost change the way you look at the world. Many of these people have a lot of experience, they have a lot of money, they have a lot of network, but it also comes with real life experiences. And when you are sharing, one thing I've also realized is you need to really be good at asking good questions. That's a skill that I feel like I did not have when I came to Harvard, but I'm going to leave Harvard with that skill, is how to ask good questions. Because when you ask good questions, the other person is now genuinely responding to you with a good intention and with the right context of what you want to get to know about. um, in classroom learning versus outside classroom learning, I think for me learnings outside of classroom have been 90%, and in classroom learning has been 10% at Harvard. When I say learning outside the classroom, I mean this, like I mean talking to people who run bigger businesses than mine and getting to know real life issues, real life challenges. How do they build systems? How do they scale? How do they find the problems? All those things. Um, yeah, I'm gonna stop saying that. Honest Take is the network. Okay, by the way, there's one question. It says, Honest Take, is the network worth the price? If you ask me, it is worth the price. Okay, but that's also because I'm not taking a loan, and I also had at least a small business up front, which I knew that I wanted to grow it into a bigger business later. So I positioned myself there. It was a strategic move. And again, I'm telling you that you need to be strategic with this investment of how you're going to get the ROI. For me, the network was worth the price, because I knew what network to make, because I knew which industry I was going to work in. Everything is connected. Um, okay, the next topic is fun. Let me have some water. Okay, I'm really not going to edit this video, by the way. I have no time to edit videos right now. I'm gonna take this video and put it on YouTube, and I'll let you guys do whatever you want to do with it. Okay. Personal growth is the next question. So I think that, wait, give me 1 second. I need to. Sorry about that. Personal growth. I think I've had immense personal growth. Immense. I cannot even start to explain. So when I came to Harvard, yes, I came with a business, but I came with a very strong feeling that I want to also not have any, for a lack of a better word, regrets. Okay? The whole world right now is working on AI startups. So I did not want to regret that I did not start an AI company. I spent the whole of last semester looking at different AI ideas, talking to friends at MIT and Harvard. What are they working on? Is this AI thing, AI, everything AI, whatever, okay? I very quickly realized that I'm not a tech guy. I do not want to start a tech business. I placed myself, remember that thing that I showed you? I placed myself above a few people and below a few people. Even when it comes to tech people, not everyone is out of the world, small percentage of them are actually going to be successful. I think that my thinking has changed a lot, where when I think about solving a problem in the world, I think about what do the customers want, which is a very basic thing. But to be honest, most entrepreneurs, think about it yourself. Most of the times what happens is that as human beings, we think that we want this change in the world, but we never talk to the customers, do the customers want this change or not? I also increased my confidence a lot, but this also comes with the fact that people see me as a Harvard student and give me more appreciation and more trust, and then in return my confidence is also being boosted. My ambition is through the roof, because the amount of successful people that I've seen, not just success in numbers sense, success in impact sense, like people that are impacting millions of students around the world with different things that they're doing, changing educational systems of entire countries, immense crazy things going on. So yeah, it's been crazy. So when you hang around with those types of people, you naturally want to have your ambitions a little bit higher. I would also say that the first semester I explored a lot of these ideas, and I was really chasing $100 million, which is a very big amount of money. But I spent a lot of months thinking that I would not call myself successful if I don't make $100 million. And I used to go to sleep extremely stressed. I used to watch some reels on Instagram. By the way, I had deleted Instagram for this entire 1 year. I was just going on Google Chrome once in a while, but I did not have the app almost for the entire 1 year, just to focus on classes. Not classes, but everything else going on. Yeah, I forgot where I was, but it is any uncomfortable or challenging moments that shaped you. What surprised you about yourself during this year? Oh yeah, I have this answer to this one. What surprised me about myself this year? It was definitely the fact that I learned how transparent person I am. I feel like after coming here is when I realized that I'm a very honest person. Even this video, you might get to see glimpses of it, but I realized that when I was talking to people, I was not sugarcoating things. I was just talking to them. I was telling them my heart. I was telling them what I think. And of course, I was not like blaming them, but I was genuinely like, if someone is talking about something and you feel like there is no substance in what they're talking about, I was bringing it up basically. Okay, this is going very long and I'm getting a little bit tired. What I would do differently if I did it again, I would talk to alumni before taking any single class. I think I did not talk to enough alumni about the class experience. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of time consuming work, which not a lot of people have that much time. I did not have that much time. I think that I looked at the face value of the class, the course catalog. I also read the course evaluations a little bit and I moved on, but I think that was not always the best thing. Mistakes I made. I think I tried to minimize my mistakes. I was waking up every single day at 7 or 8 a.m. I was going to Harvard, even if I didn't have classes. Most of the weeks, I did not have classes for 2 to 3 days out of the week. I was still going to Harvard every single day, just being there, absorbing this experience, and trying to get to know more. Yeah, most of these things are getting answered. I know that you guys have a lot of other questions, to be honest. This is a very, very big decision to take. I've been talking to a few different people who just got into Harvard now, and to be honest, I can already understand some of their questions, and I don't know how to answer. You guys are seeing that I started yawning so much. Sorry, it's like super. It's the end of the day, and I have no time. Like all day long, I have no time. If I want to plan this video and make a nice edited funny video with music and stuff, not gonna happen. There's no time for that. Okay, when it comes to class recommendations, I think that you need to talk to alumni who are doing things that you are doing as well. I also think that one of the mistakes that I made is not use the Harvard email so much. Harvard emails are very powerful. You can email powerful people around the world and get a response from them. You can invite people, you can get on a call with people. You need to be very entrepreneurial when it comes to, if you want to get a job, let's say, okay, what do people want? Let's say you want to work in educational curriculum development. Find 20 companies in educational curriculum development. Do an event at Harvard, which is very easy to do. Start a club, do an event, whatever. Invite 4 or 5 of those company CEOs to come to Harvard and speak in that event. By this, what you're doing, and your Harvard email will help you get a response from these big companies. We hosted College Board, we hosted Squirrel AI from China, a few other important people I forgot. The CEO of College Board, by the way, came. So not just anyone from College Board, the CEO came. Even ASU GSV, the founder of ASU GSV came. So whatever, all those things happen. The point is, you start a club, for example, host these events where you invite these important people. You are building a connect with them. 10 months later, when you're looking for a job, these are the people that are going to help you find a job, or they are going to help you connect with someone else who can help you find a job. But that's what's going to truly be beneficial. You cannot just be beneficial. You can't just reach out to them when you're looking for a job. One extremely big lesson that I'm learning from Harvard Graduate School of Education is the importance of relationships. I took a class with Jun Lei Lee about empowering relationships. I recommend that you should take that class, to be honest. I think it's made me look at human relationships very differently, starting from a security guy to an acquaintance to a friend to a best friend to a professor, anyone that you meet. I'm looking at people very differently. I'm saying hi to them very differently. But human relationships is the key to not having your job being taken over by AI, if that's something that you're worried about. Human relationships are truly something that cannot be taken over. And that is one big thing that I learned, and that I invested my money in for. Um, yeah, I think these are answering most of the things that I have here. Let me just put some closing thoughts. If you are accepted to the Harvard Graduate School of Education and you're thinking about coming or not, the cost as of the next year is around $65,000 in tuition fees. If you have an idea of what type of job you can get afterwards, how much is that job going to pay you afterwards, you should come. Okay? You don't need a clear idea, but you need a little bit of idea. Please do not invest $100,000 coming here with absolutely no idea on what you're gonna do. Because when you come here, the first 2 weeks when you're here, you will have to introduce yourself to people. And this first introduction is very important, because that first introduction that you make, that's how people are going to remember you for the entire 1 year. If you tell people that you're figuring it out, no one's gonna remember you. If you tell people that you are from Costa Rica working in college access programs to help lower income students in Costa Rica to go to universities in Brazil or Argentina or something, everyone remembers that. Okay? So you need to have a story for yourself, your life. Even if you change some things later, it's okay, doesn't matter. Come here with a story. Do not come here with just a basic sense of maybe I will like figure it out, life figure it out. You can come here, but I just don't recommend it, man. I will tell you that I know my seniors, so my alumni of Hugsy, who are still in loans. Like they have $50,000-$60,000 in loans after 3-4 years of graduating from Harvard Graduate School of Education. I think that you need a plan to get the ROI of your investment in at least 1 year, maximum 2 years. If you think that it's going to take you more than 2 years to get the ROI of your master's degree, monetarily, I'm a Gujarati person, so I love to talk money at the end of the day. If you think it's going to take you more than 2 years, then you should not come to Harvard. Because to be honest, you need to maybe improve your career more, get more stable financially, to be at a stage where Harvard will actually help you push your career to the next level. So Harvard and places like Harvard and Ivy League, they are not that good at launching you. Okay, from 0 to 60, they are not that good. You need to do that work yourself, do a degree, whatever else you've done. From 60 to 120, these are the places like Harvard that will help you push that career. Okay, so that's that. But money wise, very important. Man, I know that this is not going to answer all of your questions. It's going to be hard. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Yes, it's hard to come on a loan. It's even harder to come and spend all your savings on this degree. It's not a loan technically, but at the end of the day, everything that I've worked for the last 3-4 years is vanished. you know. So it was an extremely big decision for me as well. So I feel you. It might feel like it's different. Oh, he paid for it, he didn't take a loan for it, you know. It might sound different, but at the end of the day, it's money, you know. You're taking a loan and you'll have to pay back the loan later. I spent a few years making some money and then I'm using that money. So we're kind of starting from zero, you know. It depends on which route you want to take. Um, Maybe I don't recommend people who are right out of bachelor's degree to do a master's degree in the US, to be honest. So if you are coming like that, I would say take a few steps back. Don't rush into it. Work for at least 1, 2, 3 years and have 40% of your career slash industry that you want to work in figured out before you should commit to Harvard. Opportunities like Harvard, if you got in once, ask them for a deferral or something, you know. Don't have FOMO. Look, having fear of missing out if you get into Harvard can be a very strong thing. But I also think that getting into Harvard is just a piece of it. The reason that you got into Harvard is because these people were impressed by what you were already working on. Continue that work, you know, continue that work. It's already changing lives, it's already improving lives, and you can continue doing that even longer without coming here. There is a very real chance that if you come here, you take a loan to come here, and then you will not be able to do the work that you are currently doing because maybe that work does not pay enough money and now you have to pay back the loan. So for many years you will have to do different work which will be more for profit so that you can pay off that loan again, you know. That's very specific to people who are coming on a loan. People who are not taking a loan, very few people are coming here on scholarships, by the way. Very few people are coming on full scholarships. When I say very few, I mean 2 to 3% of the entire cohort that I've met is maybe coming on a full scholarship. Not more than 4% of people are here on scholarships. So at some point, everyone is paying for it. I know friends in my classes who have $120,000 in loan, another one who has $90,000 in loan, one guy from India, he has eighty to $85,000 in loan. And to be honest, I don't know what's their plan. I don't know if they have a plan. I don't know if they have a strategy. But at the end of the day, it's their life, it's their decision. There is real FOMO of getting into Harvard but not coming. But yeah, I'm very sorry that I'm yawning, but I can't. Like, I have to share these things because these are very real things that happen when you're here, and people forget about it, you know. If you talk to some other students who go to Harvard, they'll be like, yeah, it's an amazing experience, you should come, whatever. But who's gonna have this real talk? Who's gonna talk about these real things of is it worth the money, you know? We don't know. You don't know. You need a little bit of a plan. Okay. I will also tell you that I was one of the students who was openly talking about the classes not being nice, let's say sometimes. But I very quickly found that I was an exception hugely because I was not looking for a job. I was planning to continue growing my business a little bit more. Most people suppress their feeling that the class is not good because they think that in the future that professor will help them connect with someone who will give them a job. It's a very real feeling. At the end of the day, everyone who's either paying for it or looking for a job or took a loan for it, they need jobs. And the professors are one of the big connections that you can have to find these jobs, you know. So there is this real tension that you're paying for these classes, but you're not learning enough from the classes, and you cannot tell that to the professors directly, but you will talk about it with your friends outside the class. You will all talk about the fact that this class is shit, like you don't learn anything from this class. What are we talking about? This is boring. These conversations happen, but then you will feel yourself just completely trapped, that you cannot share that feeling. Again, I'm not talking about all the classes, I'm talking about 70% of the classes, me maybe being like more hollow, and 30% of the classes actually having some substance to what you're going to learn. How to find those 30% of the classes? Read the course evaluations on your Harvard portal. Perhaps talk to some alumni as well. Try to message me. I don't know if I'll be able to get back, to be honest. Life is busy. I don't know how many years in the future people are going to watch this video, to be honest. But if you're watching this from the future, I hope things have changed. I don't think they'll change a lot, but most of the things that I'm talking about here are going to be pretty useful, you know, because the things is it's repeating again and again. I'm in the education entrepreneurship program. You guys might be studying something different, but at the end of the day, Harvard, you know, it's different. It's everyone has different experiences. Also, okay, one more thing. I know like at least 2 to 3 people from my class who got kicked out of Harvard, so they're not able to graduate. They paid because they had some criminal charges or whatever against them, which is very unique, you know, but very sad stories for them. But the other thing is that people think Harvard is this very popular, fancy place. It's not fancy. It's like 100-year old, 200 years old. The buildings here are super old. The classrooms are, some of them are new, but most of them are pretty old. The gym, oh my god, I'm used to very good gyms in Texas when I lived there. Now the gym at Harvard is very bad and old, to be honest. Okay, I feel like I've mentioned everything. I'm just gonna go over this once again. I'm also getting pretty sleepy. I really hope that this helped you guys a little bit. I know it's a hard decision. This doesn't answer all of your questions. I hope that it gives you some inside knowledge into what you should consider versus not consider. I am going to, and you guys can have a active conversation in the comment section below if you want. I wish you guys all the best. Okay, if you decide to come prepared. Don't wait till 1 week before classes start to research professors. Make sure you've done enough research on professors. Make sure you've talked to at least 50 incoming class members before you even come to Harvard, so you know them. Talk to professors, go to office hours, you know. Have a project, have a something in your mind, you know. Even if you want a job, I understand not everyone is here to start a business, you know, but even if you want a job, you need to stand out. Like, you need to do research projects, you need to do something different than other people. Everything that I'm trying to say in this video is basically, don't be the same, don't be like everybody else. You need to think outside the box to be different. To give you an example, when I was looking, actually I don't know if this is a good example, but if you want in India, you can reach out to companies like SAT test prep companies, college admission counseling companies. You can reach out to these companies, tell them that you're going to Harvard, sponsor my education, at least partly, even if it's just a few $1,000s. And then when you are at Harvard, you will help the founders of these companies in India to make good connections from your Harvard connections. Maybe you can do it. Different ways to be entrepreneurial. If you have any very specific questions that you want me to make a whole new video about, let me know. I know that everyone's gonna ask me to suggest them the best classes and stuff. I'm not gonna get into it. I took a few names of professors earlier in the video. You can look at some of their classes. Classes change every single year. Professors change. In the same classroom, some people like the professor, some people don't like the professor. I've been in classrooms where I loved the professor and other people did not like the professor. I've been in classrooms where I hate the professor. Some people like it. So everyone has a very different experience. I cannot really explain every single class that I like, but it's hard work to go over every single class. If I remember, this semester the education school had 600 classes. I myself went through all of those classes. At some point I also copy pasted some of those classes to ChatGPT, and I told ChatGPT what I wanted to achieve in this semester. By the way, this board that you're seeing behind me is what I wanted to achieve in this semester. I can read it to you. One is about, like, one bucket of my life is about classes and homework. Another bucket is that I want to post more on social media. One bucket is to hang out with my friends more. One bucket is to create a new curriculum. And I want to become a better counselor. So since I run a college counseling business, I want to become a better counselor. So what am I doing? What classes am I taking? And then 2 to 3 of them are connected to my business. I'm also taking a lot of entrepreneurship classes, Fernando Riemer's entrepreneurship class, where the whole point in the class is that you need to build a business. Like, that's what you have to do. That's how you're judged. That's part of my final, is to make a business plan, do a pitch presentation, those things. Yeah, but there's a lot to be done. I wish you all the best again. Any questions, let me know. I think I need to go to sleep. It's pretty late. Very long video, but I'm very happy that finally I sat down and talked this out, to be honest, because it was on my mind and my chest for a while and my shoulders. And now I'm just happy that I've talked it out. And also it's for me too. Even maybe after a few years, I will actually watch this video myself and think about what was I thinking about in this point of life after finishing the ed school. But yeah, if you made it all the way till the end of the video, all the best. Any questions in the future, try to reach me out on LinkedIn or Instagram. Look for Nan Javia, any of those places. Most probably you'll find it. And all the best. Bye bye.